All right, we got her all recapped, e-caps and paper caps and all kinds of craps. Um, we've got the I don't know, across the line, but it's not really across the line. It's uh, line in to ground, both sides, hot and neutral. Got it replaced. That's those blue ones that you see. If I get the shadows away from it, in there. We've got the fuse added in. Uh, all the E-caps. This here was right in there, held on with a clip, and we put in a 3-tab terminal strip, tied it in. That one there is tied in. These two down here are tied in. And let's see, all the caps are identified. That sure makes it a lot easier to follow the schematic if you can trace out a circuit, see where they connect across the things. You can figure out which numbers they are. This helps because they had a component layout diagram that showed all the major components in here. I don't know if they showed the resistors. They may have. Yeah, I think they did. And all the paper capacitors and everything, and that's pretty much how I identify what they are. And then I verify on the regular schematic where they are in the circuit, and then I identify the new cap that goes in, and that's how I follow the circuit diagrams, and so that I can every successive one that I do, I can look back on the previous charts that I make up, and I can tell exactly where they are. So it does get easier after a while, and pretty soon you'll be able to remember them. I have to write everything down, or I'll never remember anything when I go back to put things back together. The band switch is all cleaned and lubricated. What else did we do here? That's pretty much it for the underside of the chassis. Here is everything that came out of the radio, and there was quite a few. It's astonishing how some radios you can get a little more than a handful of caps out of it, and then other ones you'll get like 20 or more out of it. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. Okay, let me flip this thing up and we'll show you what we've done on the top side. All right, we're top side. We got everything all dressed and cleaned up. Chassis has been refinished. Titanium silver metallic with a couple of coats of clearing. Oil brushed bronze metallic with some clearing. We're gonna take and replace this RCA jack with a modern 3.5 millimeter jack, so that we can use more current technology to feed into the input on this, since it has an auxiliary setting on it. We managed getting the dial cleaned up. It had some serious, looked like a mechanic handled it for a while there at one time and got grease all over it. We managed to get it cleaned up with without smearing or doing any damage to the lettering, numbering, the graphic on the dial. The back side has its rainbow colors on the thing. Um, I added the adaptation to this thing for the dual bulb lighting of the thing. Uh, the bulbs need the bulbs need to be perpendicular to the dial face. I found trying to put the other ones on this thing here and having them pointing down along the rainbow arc there. The wires, the filaments pick up the shadow from the wires, and you're chasing your tail trying to get those shadows off the dial. So the wires have got to be to the back and the lamps forward, perpendicular to the down. At least that's the best alternative I came up with. This mount here is just a fashion, just something I come up with. So I mean, it's not really that big a deal. Um, all the let's see, two of the tubes didn't check out very good. The one of the BA6s and the AT6s. The AT6 was was a little substandard, so I robbed it out of the other one. I've ordered tubes for that, but rather than wait for them to all come in, because we're going to do a checkout on this thing to see if it explodes. I still yet to check voltages on all the components and the temperatures, and do the alignments on the bands. So we're going to do that after this. We're all set up and ready to test it out. I got the lamps mounted back in, and fresh bulbs put in it. Fresh bulbs in each of the other things. These are 44 number 44 bulbs. I didn't have any more 47s, but I have a crack pot full of 47 lamps that I just ordered last night, and these are going to come out, and the 47s will go in once, because these pull 250 milliamps each, and I don't want a lot of heat around this dial and other things, so I'm going to put the 47s in. They only pull 150 milliamps. So the new dial string has just been put in. I have the dial pointer curing right now. It's getting a fresh look on it, and as soon as it cures up and ready to be touched, I'm going to touch it back into here to get her going, but I don't need it for the test. You've probably seen my Zenith knobs. This here is for the 527 that I have yet to finish up. I might do a short little video clip of it, but it's not going to be an operation video. It's just going to go up to YouTube once it's done. These are 3 of the off-on volume knobs for the 529s that I made mention in a previous video that always wound up getting kind of quirky looking, deformed, looked like they got stuck in an oven or something, partially melted. So I've made me up some knobs. I just need to get them dressed and get the holes and get them tapped for grub screws. So here is the 3.5 millimeter jack that's going to be going in to this radio, and then when it's ready, I'm going to have I'm going to include a 3.5 millimeter to a 3.5 millimeter adapter. So let me kick on the juice. We're doing about 118 volts on the thing. I'm going to have to turn these chinkawonkies off and put on some well, maybe because these halogens, they're powered by an AC adapter and AC to DC adapter, and it's liable to wreak havoc on the reception of this thing. But I'll go ahead and attempt it this way and see how she does. So let's put that down a little bit there. Okay. It comes on in, right now it's in auxiliary mode. Now it's in AC, and I'm getting a terrific amount of interference. There we go. Yeah, that was my power supply for my halogens. I have an adapter for them so that I can put them on battery power when I do the videos in here, and that way I don't get interference from them very, very bad. So let's see, we're in AM mode.
Contracts. Tune in for Mike Tabak's Heroes of the Game. Again, that's Heroes of the Game. And
yeah, I still have to align this and get it all set up and everything, but for the most part,
time for a check of scores from around the Pac-12 and beyond. Brought to you by Coke Zero Sugar.
Tone control.
Taste. New Coke Zero Sugar. Let's head to the Learfield Network Studios.
Volume control. Tuning. Band. Let's kick it over. These 161s really put out some really good sound once they're properly set up.
Prescott Valley, Glassford Hill Road in Prescott, and on Schweitzer Canyon Drive in Flagstaff. Gearing up.
Back over to AM.
More squabble over politics, red and blue. This is about our kids. And we should be able to control what goes into their brains ideologically and what goes into their veins. And the moment government tries to overreach and take that...
She's checking out really good so far. Like I say, I still got to do the voltage readings on the tubes and other components and get an alignment done on it. So I need to get cracking. She's pulling 780, 790, almost 800 milliamps on the thing. I have a 750 milliamp fuse in it. I might have to go to a 1 amp fuse. The surge hasn't eliminated the fuse as of yet, but I don't like to go too high on the fusing just in case there is a problem with one of the components in there, and I don't want it to burn anything, especially the windings in this transformer or anything, in case something shorts later. You get a defective component or something in it. Okay, this 6L6 is a glass tube. You remember the other one was a metal tube. It had a short in it. It was eking at me. So I happen to have this sitting on the shelf. And this here is a super strong tube. And it puts out some heat. I think it's putting out about 300 degrees Fahrenheit on the top of the tube. So I can keep warm with this radio in the shed here in the mornings. So there you are. Here's the lamp for the side of the dial. And when you put it in auxiliary mode, the only thing that lights up is the dial. So there that is. We're going to get it cracking and get her into the next phase. Thanks for watching.